Amend the Mass Media Group is California Capital's premier YouTube channel focused on reparations, dedicated to political advocacy and apologetically aimed at shining a spotlight on our righteous justice claim for reparations.
I'm Jay from 6 Zeros, and I'm here on Emend the Mass Media.
Oh man, ETM Media, man, my guy, you behind the scenes all the time on a Gangsta Lean, teaching us how to do it. Not only did you have your own platform, but you also help these black people know how to hold their positions down when their sound system failed. So I appreciate you having the music giant skill sets that you have, because not only were you able to hold this interview down, you're able to hold this whole scene down. You feel me? They don't know you was behind the scene holding it down, my guy. Much respect to you. Keep on being great.
Yes, sir. My name is Salahuddin Tula. My slave name is Jeffrey Sims. And out of being ashamed of being a slave, I changed my name. But now I'm proud of my history. And I want to thank Emend, the Mass Media Group, for the process of recording history, because some people have a different learning style. So I appreciate the videos because I can actually see what people are saying in comparison to reading what they're saying.
It's Devontae Clark, STEVANTECLARK. We're at the second annual Broadway International Festival here on Broadway between 16th and 19th Street.
Well, H.V. Pierce, he was here too.
My name is Gaynell Johnson. My birth name is Gaynell Burgess.
Gaynell Burgess.
Yes.
And how are you related to the Burgess?
My great-grandfather is Rufus. My great-great-grandfather is Rufus Burgess.
CJEC is the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. We are a grassroots, California-based coalition of organizations working for reparations and reparative justice right here in the state of California. Our mission: achieve reparations and reparative justice for Black American descendants of U.S. slavery, American freedmen, here in the state of California. To do that, we advocate and we do community engagement for our people here in the state. To find out more about CJEC, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, visit us at www.cjecofficial.org and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at CJEC Official.
The way it currently stands, forced labor, slavery takes precedence over rehabilitation and public safety.
Oh, by the way, while the Biden administration gives reparations to everyone but free people, look at the billions he has run over to Ukraine.
We don't have black grocery stores because if you think about it now, just to get in that supply chain, it's almost unheard of.
They don't want the truth to get out. Okay? I don't want to know what my family did or what all these people did and all this stuff like that. Okay? You read that 500-page report.
There's this thing called white superiority and black inferiority. That mindset allows all of the behaviors that we've seen across generations.
I had no idea that church I was running by every day was something my grandfather established.
This is not a handout. This is a debt that is owed.
You know, Allensworth was like the internet of its time in 1904, 1905.
The total black population in California is about 2.6 million, and then of that, the descendants compose about 2.2 million of that. So California, with a multi-billion-dollar surplus, can absolutely afford to satisfy the international terms for reparations, beginning with compensation.
Any financial obstacle that exists that impedes the success of increasing financial prosperity needs to be dealt with and eliminated.
No matter where we've been, no matter what part of this fight we've been in, we've been harmed, and we've had harm done to us specifically.
When I got to Los Angeles, this was some of the worst segregation I'd ever seen. And remember, I'm telling you, I'm from Mississippi.
Because as you can see, I'm giving you broken history right now, you know? But I had to give it to you guys today. I said, no, I got to show them this because it's so precious and nobody really knows about it.
Overnight, it's like, oh, it's no longer the quarters, now it's Lincoln Heights. Oh, so now we get to use Abraham Lincoln for our name. And you think about all the other people that they could have used, but they picked Lincoln. And I think that's sort of a stereotypical of what they do.
There wasn't any black restaurants. As far as black business and weed, it wasn't none.
Black people don't have that kind of luxury. Our historically black communities have been redistricted multiple times.
Why has it been easier for other groups than us?
Because of anti-black hatred.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR rules, don't tune in.
My name is Tomiya Gaines of Gain Ground with Tomiya. Today we were in Stockton for our very first Reparations Town Hall meeting with Chris Lodgson of the CJEC, which is the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. Because we have a large African American community presence here in Stockton, just as in other parts of California, our community is just as interested in reparations as the rest of not only California but the United States, and we want our check like everybody else. I am a California real estate broker, working primarily here in Northern California. I'm also a host of Uplifting Communities Talk Show in Sacramento. We have both a podcast as well as a television show on Access Sacramento. How I got involved is we actually interviewed Mr. Lodgson about 4 or 5 months ago. And in addition to that, Senator Stephen Bradford is a really good friend of mine. I'd been following the return of Bruce's Beach and just everything involving or concerning our community. And this was one of the things that became a hot topic over the last actually 24 months, ever since the passing of AB 3121, which is the whole Reparations Task Force Committee. And yeah, it became a personal passion of mine, so here I am.
Okay.
the importance of home ownership here in California. Okay, they're not manufacturing any more land. What you see is what you get. So it basically becomes a supply and demand issue. One of my pet peeves, and one of the things that actually kills me, is when I see people of our community, African American communities mainly, as soon as someone passes away, it becomes a fight or dispute over money, and the home is the first thing that they sell, which is our greatest asset and a tool used to build wealth. So for all of you listening and watching this, if you are in that situation, do whatever is necessary or whatever it takes to maintain your property, because they're not making any more. I can talk about I can talk about the homeless issue. However, I think we're just now witnessing the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to get a lot worse. We have an estimated over 735,000 homes that's supposed to hit the market due to foreclosure, due to the whole COVID and people not being able to pay their rent. Again, if you're one of those ones, or you have a family member that's homeless, my advice to everyone listening is take care of your own. Okay, do your part to take whomever in, because it's going to get a lot worse. Reparations to me mean cut the check. I can care less about the apology. Just cut the check. Give me a fair chance, as everybody else have. You know, I feel like at times I'm disadvantaged because of the color of my skin. Other times, and to be honest, I don't care who sees this. I check white on my application if I feel like it's going to get me one step further. That's a true story. But yeah, just cut the check. You know, give me a chance to, you know, experience wealth just like everybody else. The 209. No, I'm just playing. No, my lineage goes all the way back to Louisiana, Oklahoma. Of course, strong roots here in California, and even some traced Indian heritage in my background. So yeah. Okay. But don't tell the committee, because I want all my money. No percentages.
So how long actually have you been a resident here in California? How long have you been a resident?
I've been a resident here in California all my life. Well, according to one report, I heard that it was up to $1.2 million. There's actually information online. It's broken down, a certain dollar figure per year, per occurrence, right? So every year that you've lived in California, I think it was somewhere around 33,000. And there's some other figures that's broken down, so you can actually add your years up, multiply it by that figure, and get a rough estimate as to how much you would be eligible for. So those figures are available online. Okay, so let me just go back a little bit. We do have land here in California. As a matter of fact, we have lots of land that the government owns that's not even being occupied, that's reserved for the government's use. So we do have land, but the problem is it's not for sale, and they're not manufacturing any more land. That's the one thing we can't get more of, even if we tried to. It's not like we can just pour sandbags in the ocean and create a house, right? They're not building homes on the ocean. So we do have land here in California. What was the other part of your question?
So we do have land.
Mm-hmm. That is a loaded question. Even though we have reparations on the table, there's other things that we still have to contend with. Number one, and this didn't come up in today's meeting, but affirmative action is not even legal here in California anymore. They did away with affirmative action several years ago. So I'm going to be interested to see how they're going to pass a lot of the recommendations in the interim report in the absence of affirmative action. So this is going to be pretty interesting. And for all of you listening and watching, please come out June 29th. That's the last public hearing before the final report is due. I've actually attended a couple of the meetings online with Dr. Weber and a few of the others, as the planning and the media was asking questions and getting information hot off the press. So the answer to that is yes. You have to be a direct descendant of chattel slavery here in the United States. And from what I learned in today's meeting, that the years are from 1850 to 2020, you have to be a resident. Had been a resident of California during those years. I hope it's likely. I hope we get our reparations. Am I holding my breath? No. I'm not calling the PG&E, telling them to hold on till next year until I get my reparations so I can pay you guys full. That's not what I'm doing. But I do think it's going to take a lot of community involvement. I think we do need to push our state representatives in the right direction to see this thing through. I know that there are other cities that have passed reparations, such as I believe it's Evansville, Illinois. They actually they offered reparations to their residents, and the way they're paying them is through the marijuana tax, right? The tax that they're collecting off of marijuana sales. So I think California, as we learned today, is the 4th largest economy in the world. And we have plenty of marijuana smokers to where we can make reparations a real thing and actually pay people up to the $1.2 million comfortably. And so, yeah, I'm praying it's a real thing, but I'm not holding my breath. And I don't want to sound pessimistic, but, you know, I'll believe it once the money gets wired to my account. If all goes well, although they're going to pay the senior citizens first, I'm hoping it's 50 and over because, you know, my name would be in it. I just told my age, excuse me. But no, as early as it, yeah, okay, it's my club age, 21, okay. But anyways, yeah, we're hopefully in about 12 months, in the next 12 months, because the report is due at the end of this month and about 12 months after that, so yeah. Absolutely. You can find me on Instagram, Gain Ground with Tomiya, or Gain Ground TV, or simply Tomiya Gaines on Instagram and Tomiya Gaines on Facebook, and that's spelled T-O-M as in Mary, I-Y-A, Gaines, G-A-I-N-E-S. No, thank you for having me. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all at the next meeting.